Now we have two new gentlemen here. What's going down? Who do we have? To my right.
I'm Big Lou 91. I'm a rapper, and yeah.
How'd you get the name Big Lou?
Many
Big
reasons.
about you, Lou?
Many reasons.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Where does Big Lou where does it come from?
My stature, first and foremost, and then my size, that was the second one. And then my confidence, and yeah, just my presence, really.
Okay, so isn't it interesting, would you call yourself a plus size guy?
Yeah.
Right, so we don't refer to men as fluffy.
Nah, we get.
What do we refer to the men as? Just big
Well,
bone?
like we were talking about before with transitions, I mean, before when I was bigger too, I got called many things, because back then, before, being a transvestite or whatever was cool now, back then you were called man boobs, he, she, this and that. Fun times.
Fun times. Okay, I don't know how fun it actually is.
Oh, my bad. Was it sarcasm?
Yeah, I saw that.
I
got
that. My bad.
It's the narrative that, like, when something is funny that isn't funny, there's something painful there.
Such comedy and tragedy.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I just wanted to ground us, because we want to be real, we want to be truthful, we want to have healing. That's why I have a sex therapist and a sensual and wellness coach with us, so that this is a conversation that we can all have, not only for us here, but for whoever's watching and engaging, because there can be a lot of healing that comes from that. What comes up for you, Donna, when you hear Big Lou describe himself?
I don't see anything. I don't see nothing big.
I know.
I mean, yeah, he has a big personality because, as he enters the room and he's so friendly and outgoing, that I sense, but everything else, I don't sense it. So for you, Big Lou is like, okay, I thought it was a rapper name or something.
It is, yeah.
All right, but I don't see anything that you describe at all.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And who else do we have here?
All right, cool. My turn. So my name is Robert Milolo, also known as your favorite author, and also known as Mr. Late Shift.
Mr. Late Shift.
Yeah, I wonder what happened that day.
Do tell. Who is Mr. Late Shift?
Mr. Late Shift, that's my moniker as I basically engage and start writing erotica.
Erotica.
Yeah.
What made you start writing erotica?
To be perfectly honest, the very first time was a contest.
Oh, that's what got you into it?
That's what got me into it. It was a contest. I wanted, actually, if I get into a little background, 2 weeks prior, I got into a major car accident.
Oh.
Car flip, my brother got ejected out of the car, everything. Thought I was going to die. So basically.
This is the precursor to writing erotica? Wow. Okay.
The thing is, though, I had been writing my entire life, but, never really took it seriously. And now, I went through this tragic event. I'm thinking, you know what? I need to get back to writing. That's where the love is. That's what I need to get done. So now I'm looking for ways. How do I get published? Then there's this contest. If you write an erotic story, we will publish you. I said, all right, cool.
Had you been exposed to erotica before?
Reading Eric Jerome Dickey. Yeah.
Was that considered erotica? Man, I was ahead of my time.
Have you read Pleasure?
Yes, I've read his books. Well, okay, but that was not how he started.
No, that's not how it started. But I mean, the thing is, though, he is still within that realm of erotica in terms of most of the stories still has,
So you use that as your template and your imagination.
Not so much with regards to imagination, it's mostly based off of experiences that I had, experience that I wish I had, or experiences that I would like to plan on having.
Oh, interesante. Mr. Late Shift is in the house. What do you think about that, Dr. G?
Oh man, I just appreciate the brothers showing up and being present. And you got to forgive me. I was trying to listen to your name, your rap alias. I heard Big, and that's all I.
That's all they care about, man.
That's all I need to worry about, right? So I think about Notorious B.I.G. and Big Punisher. When it comes to showmanship, and especially in the entertainment business, the confidence and the bravado has to be there, or it's not going to sell, right? And that's also related to sex. You know, if you have that confidence in the bed, you can show up, and you might not be the best, but if you have confidence, you're going to at least feel much better and perform a lot better than usual. And so, but anyway, I love that, and more proud to you, brother. Um, and as far as I remember listening to, also reading Eric Jerome Dickey, he's very important for Black voices when it comes to novels, so on and so forth. And hopefully, he's passed the torch on to you, and you blow up and do great things, man. I fully support that. On my site, I've been trying to get Black men to write poetry and sex novel or sex stories. And so hopefully we can link up in the future, man,
Oh,
and get some stuff going.
yeah, that's, you're going to have a lot now. Be careful what you wish for. Wow. Okay. Now to bring it back to the fluffiness, because I guess we're all fluffy here. We're all fluffy here. So let's own the fluffy is on the continuum, right? So the happiest and the most challenging memories of being a fluffy woman, a fluffy man. Lynette, you can go first.
Okay, I think the happiest is really when I was my fluffiest. I had that sense of confidence the most. I had the most fun. I was the most out there and active and outgoing. So it was really not, although there was sadness in it, there was still really, really happy times in having fun and just celebrating being me and, enjoying myself and my body.
You know where I've had a bias? Actually, when you said that, I just realized that I have a bias about larger people, that they're always joyful or cutesy or funny.
Yes.
Where the hell did that come from?
I think
It's like, oh, I see a larger person that they're happy.
I think it's because that we feel that this is what we have to be happy to be accepted. We have to be this positive person to get that acceptance because we're not accepted for our physical being. So it has to be our emotional self that gets accepted because we know we're not going to get the acceptance in the other way.
That reminds me of the girl that we were talking about on the TED Talk who said that she showed up. What was it? Do you remember that? When she was talking about, say what you just said again.
That's gone.
Listen, we all smoke weed here. What are we supposed to do? We can't. Dr. G, help us.
Are you talking about having to choose herself?
Yes, when she talked about choosing herself and being unseen, giving herself a choice. Can you contextualize that if you remember?
Well, basically, she had been catfishing this guy for about 6
That
months.
catfish,
And
that story.
when she revealed herself to the guy asked her, "How come you did not give me the choice to fall in love with you?" And she kept mulling over it and then ended up thinking, how come she didn't give herself the choice to reveal, to be who she was.
That's so powerful. Dr. D over here. You, Miss Doctor, you're so savage. You're Dr. Savage.
Dr. Savage. I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of what Lynette says. For me,
Yes.
growing up, I was always small until after kids, right? And I remember as much as Jamaican has grown, and we talked about 1997, but when I was younger, being fluffy or bigger was not a thing, especially with parents and grandparents and that older generation,
Okay.
right? So it was one of those things, and having kids now, you start putting on some weight, you're not dancing and doing your thing as before. And I remember, I'm just going to give you a quick episode. I remember my ex-husband never saw me naked. Number one, never saw me naked. If I'm naked, I'm under the sheets because there's shame around what my body looks like, right? And I remember once we were making out, and behind, and he held on to my fluff, my we call it the muffin,
Okay.
and I freaked out.
Wow.
Right? And I freaked out. It's like I froze because remember we talk about the flow of things, right? In
You
everything
couldn't
that we
flow.
do, we have to have the flow. We have to have sexual flow, friendly flow, happy flow. It has to be flow. We can't be going on the gas and the brake at the same time. It's either
Right.
we're going or we're going to stop. Right? So, and then you have family. Oh my God, you're getting so big. So again,
Yes.
it's played on your psyche.
Right.
Right?
Of course that
it's
does.
playing on your psyche. So I never had the experience of being a happy, this is who I am and embrace it. It came afterwards when the work started, you know, and so the work started, and I have to realize, listen, we have to show up, we have to represent, and we're making choices. So again, just like the TED Talk person said, we have to choose and we have to make choices. Either we're going to represent of who we are, this beautiful, gracious being, fluffy or thin, right? And we have to show up. And LA, the minute you start showing up, sometimes I look in the mirror, it's like all I'm seeing is who? Donna Savage.
You eventually accept.
That's it. We have to.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to. What other choice? Are we going to be in, you know, in this sad moment of regression and not enjoying? No, we have to show up. Thin or big, we have to show up.